In the previous episode, we talked about takeUntilDestroyed, the cleanest way to auto-unsubscribe from an observable when a component is destroyed, and about hot versus cold observables. If you haven't seen those, links are in the description. They will make this video click a lot faster. Today we are going one step further. We are going to completely stop writing subscribe in our components. Instead, we will use a single function called toSignal that bridges the observable world with Angular's new signal system. Let's go. Let me show you the problem we are solving. Here is a typical Angular component fetching user data from a service. Do you see the pattern? We create a signal, then we subscribe to an observable, and inside this subscription we manually call set to push the value into the signal. It works, but it's noisy. We have a subscription, we have tab, we have takeUntilDestroyed. That's a lot of stuff just to display some data. What if I told you all of this can collapse into a single line? Think of it this way. Observables and signals live in two different worlds. Observables are async. They are lazy or hot. They emit values over time. Signals are synchronous. They always have a current value. They are easy to use in templates without any pipe. toSignal is literally the bridge. You give it an observable. It creates a signal that subscribes automatically. Every emission updates the signal. It also handles the subscription lifecycle for you, just like takeUntilDestroyed. It cleans up when the component is destroyed and zero subscribe in your component. Let's see this in code. Let's refactor our component. First, comment old code to compare after refactor. Change our signal. Now import toSignal. It's from the same package as takeUntilDestroyed. toSignal, use this method now. Okay, and now one line, the signal is created, the subscription is managed, the cleanup is handled, the type is inferred automatically, because get user data returns observable user data. The signal is signal user data or undefined. That undefined part, why is it there? We'll come back to that in a second. Notice that I moved this to a field initializer. No ng on it needed. This works because toSignal use Angular's injection context, just like inject. You call it at construction time. Let's add user post. We need to create another variable with pipe and share replay. Create private user data $. This $, this variable is observable. Now we use fetch get user data. Now add pipe. In the previous video I talked about pipe, and add share replay. Without share replay, toSignal calls create two separate subscription. Share replay, in this case one. Let's import one. Does two things. Share, multicasting one upstream, multiply consumers, and replay one remembers the last value and immediately delivers it to every new subscriber. The second part matters because toSignal subscribes at slightly different times. Replay guarantees both consumers get the same value even if one subscribes too late. Okay, let's refactor. Here we can use user data $. Variable here. Now refactor our post into toSignal. Now we use our observable. Now we use pipe, switch map. I talked about switch map in the previous video. It's user, yes, user. And use our user function get user post by this user ID. Now remember to add initial value like that. Now we went from 8 lines with a lifecycle hook, manual subscriptions, and manual set function calls down to 6, maybe 3 lines if do not reformat code. The component no longer knows that observables even exist. It just has 2 signals it can use directly in the template. Now we can remove ng init, remove all data, destroy ref, and we can also remove on init and imports. Here's a question. What is the value of the signal before the observable emits? Observables are async. There is a delay, a network request, whatever. But signals always have a current value. Angular needs to know what to put there. That's why toSignal returns signal, type, or undefined by default. Before the first emission, it's undefined. You have 2 options to change this. If you have a good default, use initial value. Perfect for arrays, strings, numbers, anything that has a sensible empty state. If your observable is guaranteed to emit synchronously, like a behavior subject, use requireSync. This tells Angular this observable will emit a value immediately, before any async tick. TypeScript then knows the type is a signal, for example, user data, not signal, user data, or undefined. But be careful, if you use requireSync on an observable that doesn't emit synchronously, Angular will throw an error at runtime. It's a safety net. One last thing worth mentioning. toSignal use the exact same cleanup mechanism we saw in the takeUntilDestroyed episode. It grabs destroy ref from the injection context and unsubscribes when the component is destroyed. That's why you must call toSignal inside an injection context, a constructor, a field initializer on a function called during construction. Same rule as inject. Let's recap. toSignal is a single function that turns any observable into a signal. It handles the subscription, it handles the cleanup, and it gives you a value you can use directly in templates without async pipe or subscribe. There are 3 flavors. Default gives you type or undefined. Initial value gives you type with a fallback. And requireSync for synchronous sources like behavior subjects. The rule to remember, call it an injection context. That's it. If you found this useful, subscribe. Next episode we will look at toObservable, which goes to other direction. Signal to observable. See you then.